Okay, to start with Adobe Illustrator, and as you know, this is your menu bar. These are your tools, and here comes your floating palettes. To take a new file, file new, and the shortcut is Control N. You don't have to bother about these things for now. Just give OK. So it will start the software. Okay. Now, I don't want it to be a portrait. There are two different modes. One is like this, which is called the portrait mode, and there is a landscape mode also. Okay. I don't want portrait, I want landscape. What I'll do is I'll just go to this tool, which is called your artboard tool. Click on it. So automatically portrait and landscape options comes here. Just change it to landscape. Okay. So now the document is in landscape mode. Now after that, just click on any of the tools here. So Shiron, you can meet her also.
Yeah, I spoke to
Okay, so we are going to we took a new folder, new file. Now our basic tools comes here. These are our basic tools. Okay, so when you are on your any of these tools which is having this small arrow, okay, below it, just click on the tool and hold. Now you can leave the click. Okay, then come here. This is called your tear off button. Just click on it. This will open the set of tools in a new palette. Okay, now take your rectangular tool, just draw a rectangle. Okay, we drew a rectangle. Now what's going to happen is that you want to change the color of the rectangle. So basically Illustrator follows two colors. One is the fill color, the other one is the stroke color. You want to change the fill color, just double click on the fill and you can change it. Okay, now you want to change the stroke color, double click on the stroke, you can change it. Now if stroke is above the fill, you can make fill above the stroke and stroke above the fill. If fill is above, you're going here and opening your color palette. If this palette is not present, just go to Windows and switch on your color palette. Okay, whenever this palette is present, just click on any of the color. It will automatically change the color of the selected object. Selected object means if there are two objects and this object is selected, this is not selected, you go here, it will change the color of this object. You take your selection tool, means your first tool, you select this object and change it here. This object will be changed. Okay, understood? So this is your selection tool, and this is your basic shape number 1, which is your rectangle tool, and this is how you change your colors. Now with selection tool, if you select an object, you will automatically see the stroke palette here. So you can, or the stroke thickness option here, you can increase the thickness of your stroke from here. Okay, so we did that. Now we have a rounder rectangle. The use of rounder rectangle is, the difference between rectangle and rounder rectangle is, rectangle will look like this, whereas rounder rectangle, see, it will be a rectangle only but with rounded corners. You want to increase the corner radius of this rounder rectangle, just click on your work area. Okay, any of the tool, for its options, just select the tool and click on your work area. Its width, height are coming, and with that corner radius is also coming. I am making the corner radius 1 and I'm giving OK. See, the same size rectangle with a more radius to the corner will appear. Okay, so this is the difference between rectangle and rounder rectangle too. Now Control A, you can select everything in your work area and you can delete them. Now there is an ellipse tool. You take your ellipse tool, you can draw ellipse. You want a circle, just press shift and draw the ellipse. Okay, you will get a circle. Understood? Now same if you go to the rectangle and try, you will get a square. Okay, so this is the difference between, like using shift and without shift. Like without shift you will get a rectangle, and with shift you will get a square. Okay. Now we are using our polygon tool. Just draw the polygon. Default the polygon will be 6-sided. You want to increase the number of sides, draw the polygon, hold the click, don't leave the click, then use the up arrow key to increase the number of sides, down arrow key to decrease the number of sides. If you decrease, it will go till triangle. Okay, increase, it will go till circle, because circle is an n-sided polygon. Okay, so it can become a circle also. I reduced, and I reached till here. Same in the case of star. You can draw the star, up arrow, increase the number of points, down arrow, decrease the number of points. Okay, we are not concentrating on this tool for now. We'll go to that tool later. Now we are having a line tool. The use of the line segment tool is to draw line segments. After drawing the line segment, now we have an arc tool. The use of arc tool is to draw arcs. Okay, now we have a spiral tool, a rectangular grid, and a polar grid. When we are learning rectangular grid and polar grid, we have to learn the concept of grouping. What is meant by grouping? Grouping means if we are having two objects, suppose this is my logo, okay, and now I want them to be always together, right? If this is a logo, I want them all to be always together, so I select both of them, then object, group, or control G. Now they will move together. We can add groups inside groups. That is, now there are two groups, right? This is one group and this is one group. I can make a single group out of these groups. Select both, control G. See, now they are coming as a single group. Okay. Now I want to move an object inside the group. I can use my group selection tool. Not direct selection, but group selection tool. Now I can select an element of the group and move it to the location I want. Still, this and this is a group and this and this is a group. I can prove it like select it, object, ungroup. Now see, these two are ungroup. See, these two are a group. These two are different group. Okay, so we can add groups inside groups. When we are taking the case of rectangular grid or polar grid, there are two groups which are grouped. Like if I go object and ungroup, we can select this group separately and this group separately. Okay, there are two different groups. Now I want to color these circles, these concentric circles. What I'll do is I'll use my group selection tool. Select this one, select this one, select this one. Now this time I'll use my eyedropper to pick this color. Again I'll select group selection tool, select this one. I'll take my eyedropper, this color. Again I'll select my group selection, this one, eyedropper, this color. Again group selection, this one. Eyedropper is to pick the color. Okay, understood? This is how we use our rectangular grid and polar grid. Okay, now after this point we can make a rectangle. Now alt and drag, it will create a copy of the rectangle. Alt, hold and drag. Okay, I copied it. Now control D, last apply transformation again and again. Transform again, object, transform again is control D. Okay, transformation may be rotate, scale and move. All these are transformations. Okay, like if I am scaling this thing, control D, control D, control D, control D, control D. See, the transformation will be applied again and again. Understood? Understood, right?
Yeah.
Now I did it like this. Control D, control D, control D, control D. I selected this much. Alt and drag. Control D, control D. Now select alternate ones, pressing shift. Okay, we did it like this. Now the use of magic wand is to take similar colors or select similar colors. If I select my magic wand and I am selecting this green one, all the green objects will get selected. I can change the color. If I go to the yellow one, all the yellow objects will get selected and I can change the color. This is the use of magic wand. Okay, now we have a lasso tool. Lasso tool will help you to select specified objects. These three objects I want to select. So three of them are selected and I can change their color. Okay, this is the difference between magic wand and lasso. Lasso, if I want to select this and this objects, I can draw from here to here. So those two objects I can select and change their color. This is the use of lasso. Now in this software, these are the selection tools which are in this software. Now we have to go to our drawing tools, like this set of tools and this set of tools, means these tools and these tools, they allowed you to draw shapes which are already provided by the Illustrator. Okay. Now you want to draw shapes, custom shapes, say custom shapes. Control A to select everything and delete them. Now take your pen tool. This is a tool which helps you to draw custom shapes. Now there is your pencil tool, and brush is there, and blob brush also is there. First let's see what is our pencil tool. Pencil tool is used for freehand drawing. Okay. When you draw a stroke using pencil tool, it won't be perfect. So to make it smooth, you use your smooth tool. Use your smooth tool to make your pencil strokes smooth. Okay, like this. Now there is an eraser which helps you to erase the path of any object. It will erase not only the pencil strokes but path of any object. If I am having a rectangle, I want to erase this much, I can select from here till here, it will erase that part. Okay, so this is the use of path eraser. When we are talking about path eraser, this is a path but it's not having a fill, there is no fill, so I am applying the fill here. Okay, fill is also there, and I want to create a hollow space here. If I am using my path eraser and trying to do that, it won't work. Why? Because path eraser can only erase path. Path eraser will erase from here till here, that it will erase, and when it is erased, the fill will also go. Why? Because the software thinks this is like a liquid in a container. So the path is a container. When there is no container, the liquid won't be there. Okay, so the liquid will also go, or the color will also go. So if I want to erase the fill, I have to use another tool which is called your eraser tool. With eraser you can erase the fill, but when you are erasing the fill, automatically a path will be generated to hold the shape. Okay, if this shape is not there, I am removing this path till here. See, the fill will again come if this shape is not there. Understood? So this is the use of path, and we learned eraser right now. With eraser there is a scissor tool. The use of scissor tool is to cut from edge to edge. See, now this is a different object. Okay, more precisely it will be like this is your object. You take your scissor, you are cutting from this point to this point. Or see, so this is the use of scissor. Now we have a knife tool. Knife tool will cut and make random shape as you like. Select the object and do it. Okay, provided you must start from outside and end outside. You start from here, do whatever you like. Now finish it outside, not on the path, okay, but outside. Select the object and do it. See, okay, this is your eraser, scissors and knife. So we were discussing our pencil, right? Now with pencil we have a pen tool. Pencil is used for freehand drawing, whereas pen is used for control drawing. Like you will have the control. I clicked on a point, I'm not drawing, then I'll come to the next point and I'll click there, so I'll get a straight line. Now I'll come to next point, I click, sorry, I click, I hold the click and I drag, so it will come like this. Okay, so I got a curve. Now the next point I want straight line, but if I draw, it will only come as a curve. After a curve, only a curve will come. Now after this, a straight line will come, provided you are not changing the direction of the curve. If I am like clicking here and changing the direction of this curve also, now I want straight line, I am trying, it will only make a curve, it won't make a straight line. To make a straight line after a curve, just go to that anchor point. This is called anchor point. Click there. See, Okay, so after a curve you can create a straight line using this method, and you can close it. So this is a closed shape now. Now the use of add anchor point is, you come here, just click at this point, you can add an anchor point. Again, add, 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 add. Okay, now take your direct selection tool, click, drag, see, so you can see the shape. Now I don't want these points, so I'll take my subtract anchor point tool, click, 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 click. So the unwanted points we can remove. Now there is a convert anchor point tool which converts a sharp point into a smooth one. See, sharp points it will convert into smooth points. Okay, and a smooth point, if I click, it will be converted into a sharp point. Okay, both the functions the same tool will do. If you are like clicking and dragging, it will create a smooth point, whereas if you are just clicking on it, it will create a sharp point. That's the difference. Okay, so pen tool. Okay, now we'll go to our brush tool. The use of brush tool is again to draw freehand strokes. Okay, but if you are using your brush tool, go to your Windows and switch on your brushes palette. You will get this much options to make brushes. Okay, so with brush you can draw whatever you like. More options you want, you just click here, open brush library, and go for your any type of brushes you want. I'm going for decorative strata, so in decorative strata I'll get these brushes. I'll take this one or the bubble one, okay, all these things you can do. So these are your brushes. Now after that you will be having a blob brush. Blob brush will be like brush tool only, but after drawing that thing, if you select it, now it is stroke. If you select it, it will be converted into fill, and this shape will be a single shape. So blob brush can be used as a filler brush to fill areas where you need color, more color. Understood? So this is the difference between brush and blob brush. Okay, now we know these two tools. This part is also okay, this is okay, but we don't know the type tool. Okay, so type tool, as you know, is used for typing. The first one is the basic type tool, which will type horizontal text. Okay, now after typing, I select this thing, right click, I can change the font from here. Which font I want, I can select. Now I want to change my font size, I can go to size and change my font size. Okay, now there is a vertical type tool here which will type vertically. Downwards. Okay, this is vertical type tool, and horizontal type tool is the other one. Now we are having an ellipse, suppose. Okay, I wanna type inside this ellipse. I'll use my area type tool, so that it will only type inside my area. I'll select the text and I'll change its size to 11. Okay, so it will automatically fill the selected area. But the only thing is that the stroke will go, or the shape will go. So you want the shape also be there, you must take a copy of it and keep it after this. Okay, now vertical area type tool, same thing, but in vertical direction it will type inside the area. Now if I'm having a path, suppose, where is my path? I'm having an arc. Okay, now I want to type about the arc. I'll use my type on a path tool. Okay, above the above the thing you can type. Now I want to type through the path. What I'll do is I'll use my vertical area type tool. See, it will come through the path. Okay, this is the difference. Understood? So till here it's okay. Now the next thing which I want to teach you is about the colors. This object we can give single color, right? I want multiple colors in one single object. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to Windows and open my gradient. The gradient will be here. Just click on the gradient color will come. Okay, after this gradient color is coming, I want to change the color. Just double click on the object or double click on the color. Sometimes it may show like this and the swatches won't be there. At that time, if it is in grayscale, it won't show. You change it to RGB, so everything will come. Okay, normally. Now select and select the color. Select this and select the color. Okay, so we got the color like this. And I want a stroke for this object, so I'll give a black stroke. Okay, now move this thing like this and reduce the size. Now what we are going to do is I don't want the gradient like this, I want it from top to bottom. So I'll go to my gradient tool and change the angle to 90. Oh, the gradient is added in my stroke. Be careful, stroke is black. Take the fill up, now change the gradient angle to 90. So it will come from top to bottom. Okay, if I want that dark color to come down, I can either make it -90 or I can swap these colors. But -90 is easier than this thing. Okay, so it came like this. Now take your line, draw a line from here to here, and take your selection tool, press Alt and come to this line. So you will see a double arrow when you're coming to the line. See, that means it can copy. Okay, now it will copy the line. So we got it like this. Now take your round rectangle tool, draw a rounded rectangle here at this point, zoom in, Control plus. Now up arrow key, I can adjust it. Okay, it's not good. I did it like this. Now this thing, again apply the gradient. This time I don't want this gradient, I want a gray, this also gray, and in the center I'll add one more color and I'll change it to white. Come like this. Alt and drag, it will create the copy. Control D. Okay, now take your round rectangle again and draw it from here till here like this. The same gradient but angle make it 90, so it will come from top to bottom. Okay, now this time I'll double click this thing and swatches, I'll select this pink, and now I'll go to the color and reduce the pink and increase the orange shade so that it will have the texture of the eraser. Now after that I'll drag this, Alt and drag this color to this side, so it will create a copy. Now I'll remove this and move this color to this corner. Now I want this shape behind these shapes, so I'll select the shape, right click, arrange, send to back. Okay, or transform, object transform, no, object arrange, sorry, send to back. Okay, so it will come like that. Now after that, press spacebar to get your hand tool, or this hand tool you can use. Spacebar is the shortcut. Press spacebar and hold. Now click and drag to move. Okay, now come to the front, take your polygon, draw a polygon, hold and use down arrow key to make it a triangle. Still I am holding the click. Now press shift and just try to rotate it so it will set in 90 degree. Okay, what I did, first I drew the shape. It was having more number of anchor points and I was holding my click. Now I reduced to a triangle. Still I am holding. Now I will press shift and try to rotate it so it will come in straight line. Okay, shift I am pressing and it will come in straight line. Now I will leave the click first, then the shift. Now select your selection tool, press shift again, hold and try to rotate it 1 2 45 90. See, so it will perfectly come in 90 degree. Now move it so that its center meets with the center of the rectangle. Center meeting, that green line will come. Why? Because in view smart guides are on. Smart guides are helper characters which helps us to position or locate the object. Okay, now just move it the center is perfect. Now I placed it. Now I'm going to reduce the side. If I press alt from both sides, it will uniformly reduce. If I'm not pressing alt, only one side will get reduced. So I'll press alt, come like this, reduce the size. Now angle, change it to 90 of the gradient, so it will come like this. Okay, now here I'll double click and change to a lighter shade of brown, no, darker shade of brown, because it's bottom, and up I'll change it to a lighter shade of brown. Okay, now alt and drag to make a copy, reduce the size, change it to black, this thing also to black. Now place it perfectly here. Okay, now it's not a proper pencil because here it will be having that zigzag thing. Select these two things. Remember one thing, whichever object we draw last will come above all the other objects. So in this case, these two objects come above all the other objects. Okay, so we have to send them behind all the other objects because I am going to move this thing out. Okay, so I'll select both of them, right click, arrange, send to back. So now they are behind all the other objects. Now select your rectangle, add anchor point tool, add a point here, 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 here and here. Okay, now take your direct selection tool, click and drag this point to this position, drag this point to this position. Okay, now just reduce the size of this a little bit so it will fix with this thing. After this, take your direct selection tool, select this and adjust it like this, adjust this point also like this and check. Here it is coming out, select it. Okay, so we did it. Now what we have to do is, we'll select the whole thing, object, group. Now it's a group. Okay, not making a thing is okay, like we made a pencil, it's okay, but placing it and properly setting the background is the most important thing, which gives an appeal to your object. Okay, so for that what I'll do is, I'll take a copy of this object. Now I'll take my rectangle again and draw a rectangle above the pencil. I'll move it like this. Okay, so it will start from this endpoint of that object. Okay, to see this properly, I'll go to view and view the outline. Okay, so I can see the outline of all the objects. So now I can place this object perfectly. I want it to start from here. Again go view, preview. So it will come like this. This time I want only 2 color gradient and it must be in 90 degree. It's coming like this. Okay, now what I'll do is, I'll call my transparency palette, which is here, or otherwise go to Windows and call your transparency palette. Okay, transparency palette, this will be here. Select both the objects. Remember the gradient is black and white. Okay, select both the objects, make mask. So it will come like this. I did wrong. The color must be opposite. White must come up and black must go down. So again I'll select my gradient and I'll change the colors, white and black. I'll let the black be like this. Select both. Now go to create transparency and make mask. So it will come like this. I can create a reflection of the pencil. Okay, understood?
Okay.
Now to the center I placed. Pencil is reflecting, right? Now reduce the opacity of the reflected shape. Opacity means how much it's visible. Now it's a little bit visible only. Okay, so we place it like this, and see, this is overlapping our original pencil, this thing. So select it, right click, arrange, send to back. Now our pencil is perfect and this is not overlapping because our pencil is not transparent, it's opaque, fully opaque object. We'll place it like this. Let's take a rectangle and draw it from top to bottom. This time we'll go to the gradient. Make it radial. And I want white inside and the yellow to be outside. And I don't want this yellow. I want it a lightish. Okay. So we got it like this. Now select the object, right click, arrange, send to back. Okay. Okay. Now make a border here and give your name or something like that. Which software you use. That's it. Okay. Just do it, practice it, and come back. We'll continue maybe tomorrow. You'll do till here, right?